挑战保时捷就是我们小米的梦想。
People need dreams. Challenging Porsche is our Xiaomi dream. There's no turning back. We can only push forward with all our might. We will keep fighting until we achieve the ultimate victory. In the spring of 2024, Xiaomi CEO Lei Jun's bold pledge to dedicate his career's final entrepreneurial venture to the automobile industry stirred excitement among countless Xiaomi fans, who imagined the rise of China's automotive industry to global supremacy. At the Shanghai Auto Show last year, Lei Jun confidently declared the Xiaomi SU7 Ultra will rival Porsche in performance, match Tesla in technology, and offer luxury on par with the BBA. He passionately shouted, Ultra will redefine the new standard for luxury cars. However, as these grand proclamations echoed, reality delivered a rude awakening in the face of his dreams. On February 4th, a bombshell report from Chinese media outlet Blue Whale Media revealed that in late January, Xiaomi's internal sales team, known as Ultra Master, was suddenly disbanded. This was no ordinary sales team. To match the high-end identity of the Ultra, Xiaomi had spared no expense, adopting the sales strategies of traditional ultra-luxury brands to create a one-car, one-team premium service model. This team was highly regarded by Lei Jun, with salaries rumored to be around 30,000 yuan per person per month. Many members were recruited from elite brands like Ferrari and Lamborghini. But now, with the announcement of the team's dissolution, all of that has fallen apart. The elite team disbanded, and sales permissions were handed down to ordinary stores, turning what was once a luxury car priced at over 500,000 yuan into a model treated no differently than a 200,000 yuan family sedan. Lei Jun's hefty investment was initially driven by the high hopes for the SU7 Ultra, which he considered Xiaomi's high-end dream. Yet, this carefully planned venture could not withstand the harsh realities of the market. Looking back at the SU7 Ultra's life cycle, it has been a roller coaster ride. When the Ultra launched in February 2025, it initially gained attention thanks to the buzz surrounding its release. In just 10 minutes, pre-orders exceeded 6,900 units. And within 2 hours, the sales target for the year was met. By March 2025, monthly sales peaked at 3,101 units, giving hope to Xiaomi's high-end strategy. From March to August, monthly sales stabilized at 2,000 to 3,000 units, maintaining a respectable performance that justified the size of this dedicated sales team. But when the novelty wore off, the sales figures took a nosedive that was as brutal as any stock market crash. The real turning point came in September 2025, when sales plummeted to 488 units, almost halved. In October, they dropped further to 130, and by November, they had fallen to fewer than 100. December sales were a humiliating 45 units. From 3,000 units per month to fewer than 50 in just 6 months, a decline this rapid not only exceeded Lei Jun's expectations, but also shattered the commercial logic underpinning the project. As new car sales faltered, the second-hand car market collapsed as well. Market intelligence shows that the depreciation rate of the first owners of the SU7 Ultra has dropped to around 65%. The car that was only 6 months old has seen its second-hand value drop from over 500,000 to about 360,000 yuan, resulting in a loss of nearly 180,000 yuan in just half a year. Second-hand dealers, once eager to hike prices, now see the Ultra as a hot potato. Shenzhen's well-known used car dealer, Mr. Li, reluctantly shared in an interview, "This car is too niche. We can't sell it. The regular SU7 is fine, but we basically refuse to take the Ultra version unless the price is slashed to absurd levels." This staggering depreciation rate has severely damaged the psychology of high-end customers. After all, it's one thing to lose money on a luxury car, but another to lose money so drastically it becomes a joke. This created a vicious cycle. Low sales, depreciation drop, potential buyers reluctant to purchase, even lower sales, further depreciation. The team's dissolution is not only due to weak sales, but also because the company's leadership realized the negative cycle had become irreversible, forcing them to cut losses. Dismal sales coupled with mounting legal issues meant that the once promising Ultra Master team had become a heavy burden rather than a driving force. Initially, the recruitment standards for the team were on par with high-performance departments at Porsche and the BBA brands. Comprehensive monthly salaries of 15 to 30,000 yuan, 6 types of insurance, luxury car or racing sales experience, exclusive reception rooms, and personal car delivery ceremonies. This is a model Porsche could afford because of their high per-car profit and the customer base that craves such ceremonies. But Xiaomi's Ultra could never afford to play this game. From the moment it was born, it carried an obvious and dangerous label. It was a car attempting to imitate and benchmark Porsche. Looking back at Lei Jun's speech at the SU7 Ultra launch event, it's clear the sales strategy for the Ultra was always designed to align with this high-end branding.
我们第一次坐车啊，不太懂。
This is our first time making a car, so we don't know much. We didn't have a small deposit or pre-sale price. We got roasted by a lot of netizens. This time though, I plan to respect industry rules and announce a pre-sale price. Alright, as per usual, let's compare it with Porsche. We chose the Taycan Turbo GT. Is that alright? It's a 2 to 3 million car. Look, it's a bit hard to watch. We're totally leading the way. Okay, we won't compare anymore, alright? Fine, let's compare it with our old friend, the Tesla Model S Plaid. This is worth comparing. They're still pretty good, of course, but in terms of the main indicators, we're still ultra ahead. Lei Jun's narrative logic from pushing Xiaomi's brand to competing with Porsche always pointed to the same target, the German automaker. However, he made a critical mistake, equating performance with luxury cars. Yes, the car was fast, accelerating from 0 to 100 km per hour in 1.98 seconds, with 1,548 horsepower. But the reality is that luxury car buyers have never been swayed solely by performance parameters. In the world of luxury cars, status is determined not by press conference slides, but by time. Porsche can command such a price because it has spent decades at Le Mans, and its shield symbolizes a rich cultural legacy. Xiaomi, on the other hand, attempted to fill a century-old moat with the parameters of a single product. This strategy appears rushed and immature. This benchmarking impulse also backfired in the design. The mass-produced version of the Ultra was significantly toned down compared to the prototype, with early buyers complaining it was a look-alike, but not the same. One buyer described it, "I thought I was getting a GT3 RS when I saw the launch event, but when the car was delivered, it was just an ordinary sedan with a big body kit. It's like expecting a Michelin 3-star dish, only to get a bowl of instant noodles with abalone." Porsche is Porsche because it is not just a symbol of status, but a social consensus in high-end circles. The SU7 Ultra, however, feels more like a beautifully crafted gadget, but one with an awkward identity. The target customers for the Ultra also show a fatal mismatch. Xiaomi naively targeted high-net-worth individuals over 40. Lei Jun believed that as long as the car looked like a Porsche and had better parameters, these experienced buyers would be convinced. But reality is harsh for Xiaomi. The young buyers attracted by the performance are shouting Thor at the screen, but they can't afford a 500,000 yuan car, and some can't even get a loan. Middle-aged wealthy individuals, on the other hand, buy luxury cars for what? For identity, social currency, and brand trust. At a high-end used car dealership in Shanghai, a Porsche Panamera owner who had considered trading in for the Ultra bluntly stated, "It's fast, but it's foolish fast. Sitting inside, I don't see the quality that a 500,000 yuan car should have. The button feedback, the stitched lines, the sound of the door closing, it's still just an electronic product, not a luxury item." In the end, he chose a used Porsche Taycan for one simple reason. "I'm spending over 500,000 not to prove I understand parameters, but for others to know what car I'm driving in this circle." This is the gulf Xiaomi cannot cross. Driving a Porsche tells people you understand life. Driving a Mi Porsche tells them you're vain and poor. As industry experts say, veterans of the high-end market won't choose this car. It has zero emotional value. And due to the imitation label, its social value is negative. Behind the SU7 Ultra's sales collapse, Xiaomi's brand reputation for cars also took a massive hit. In May 2025, a dispute over the carbon fiber dual-duct front hood sparked a storm of negative publicity, causing the SU7 Ultra's credibility to plummet overnight. At the launch event, this optional 42,000 yuan hood was hyped to be extraordinary, replicating the Nürburgring prototype. Race-level cooling, dual ducts directing airflow to the brakes. Lei Jun used these terms to make buyers believe they were getting a Porsche GT3 RS level aerodynamic kit. However, when the first batch of buyers took delivery and disassembled the parts, they angrily discovered it was a complete cosmetic fake. Smoke tests revealed that airflow couldn't pass through the so-called ducts, as the hole was completely blocked. The disassembly revealed that the internal structure was almost identical to a regular aluminum hood, with no physical connection to the brake cooling system. The result? The so-called carbon fiber dual duct front hood only reduced the car's weight by 1.3 kilograms, offering no real aerodynamic or cooling benefit. One disgruntled buyer, Mr. Lee, angrily asked, "I spent over 40,000 yuan for race-level cooling, and you gave me a decorative panel with holes? This is unimaginable in Porsche's options. Their carbon ceramic brakes can actually be used on the track, while Xiaomi's carbon fiber hood is only good for posting on social media. In Porsche, every gram of carbon fiber is about performance. In Xiaomi, the 42,000 yuan carbon fiber is purely an IQ tax for fans." Netizens jokingly called it the flavor hood or the most expensive plastic board. Faced with online outrage, Xiaomi was forced to admit that this was merely a decorative design and offered a 2,000 yuan credit compensation as a half-hearted solution. No wonder some say selling decorative parts as functional ones in the auto industry is called engineering fraud. This incident completely shattered the last bit of trust high-end users had in Xiaomi's brand. Beyond false advertising, Xiaomi's arrogance in product definition was also infuriating. First, there was the locked power issue, which humiliated performance enthusiasts. The 1,548 horsepower advertised for the SU7 Ultra was found to be locked upon delivery. Users could only access about 900 horsepower. And to unlock the full power, they had to pass tests like in a game, even having to visit a racetrack to get results. A buyer who owns multiple supercars commented, "I bought this product for 800,000 yuan, and I live for the horsepower. This control restriction is entirely the mindset of an electronic product company. They don't understand the mentality of luxury car owners." Even worse, this restriction caused a chaotic power response, leading to multiple incidents of power delay during overtakes. Then came the wheel dropping joke. Multiple videos surfaced online showing the SU7 Ultra's wheels falling off during low-speed driving or even minor bumps. When questioned, Lei Jun's PR team concocted the term "lose the wheel, save the car" protection, claiming it was a tribute to Volvo. But the truth is, Volvo's system cuts the suspension after high-speed impacts to protect the legs, whereas Xiaomi's suspension failed during low-speed turns. This isn't black technology, it's a design flaw, a failure in CAE simulation. Some pointed out that in order to achieve the 1.98 second 0 to 100 acceleration, Xiaomi seemingly weakened the chassis strength, resulting in a serious lack of safety and redundancy. If losing wheels and locking power makes people angry, then a scene in Shijiazhuang City, Hebei Province, is one that evokes a deep, visceral fear. On January 25th, an ultra car owner engaged the Hyper-Autonomous Driving HAD system. 150 meters ahead, a large truck was crossing the road. In theory, this should have been an easy task for the LiDAR. Yet, the HAD system acted as if it were blind, completely ignoring the obstacle and continuing to speed ahead. The owner panicked and took control at the last second, slamming onto the brakes just in time to narrowly avoid a collision. He complained that this was the second time his intelligent driving system had lost its mind. Since the update in late 2025, the system had become both aggressive and sluggish. When applying the brakes hard, there was even a sense of hopelessness, as if the brakes couldn't stop. What's more chilling than the accident is the official response. Back-end data showed that this high-performance beast took a full 6 seconds to stop from 80 kilometers per hour. When confronted with such absurd data, Xiaomi customer service coldly responded, "The data is normal." By Porsche standards, it should take just over 2 seconds to stop from 80 to 0, within a distance of 30 meters. Xiaomi's 6 seconds means the car would have slid an extra 50 meters. That additional 50 meters is not just data, it's the difference between life and death. It could have allowed the car's front to crash into the truck's rear, leading to an irreversible tragedy. The owner couldn't help but ask, what exactly did Lei Jun mean by instant braking at the press conference? These incidents clearly showed that Although Xiaomi has produced a fast car, it still doesn't understand what luxury dignity is, let alone respect for life. True luxury cars sell trust and redundancy, while Xiaomi sells marketing and gimmicks. The collapse of the SU7 Ultra is not an isolated tragedy for one company, but a collective delusion shattered for many Chinese new energy car manufacturers over the past few years. This delusion led many cross-industry entrants to believe that as long as I go fast enough, price high enough, and tell a good PowerPoint story, I can overtake in the curves and become Porsche of the electric age. Hi-Fi is a typical example. It pushed black tech to the extreme with sci-fi designs, mechanical arms opening doors, and starry sky roofs. The Hi-Fi X starts at 570,000 yuan, with the top model reaching 800,000, while the Hi-Fi Z sells for over 500,000 yuan. It was once hailed as the Chinese Rolls-Royce. So what happened? In early 2024, production suddenly halted, with unpaid wages, worker protests, and idle factories. The parent company, Human Horizons, filed for bankruptcy, although in 2025 there was an attempt at revival with an investment of 1 billion yuan from EV Electra in Lebanon, and a restructuring plan was introduced in 2026. Sales had already dropped to zero. On the second-hand market, people were picking up the scraps of unfinished cars. A former 600,000 yuan luxury car could now be bought for just 120,000. The brand was completely finished. Chinese businessman Jia Yueting also fell. In 2016, he brought the US Faraday Future back to China, claiming to challenge Tesla and Porsche. The FF91 took a full 7 years to go from concept car to market, with the delivery volume to date only in the hundreds. The company has faced multiple near bankruptcies and sought bankruptcy protection. Now, another Jia Yueting seems to be on the way. On the evening of February 4th, Dreamy, a robot vacuum company in Suzhou City, held a grand Dreamy Night annual meeting, with 20,000 people in the audience, hosted by Sabe Nan, and performances by celebrities like Jam Xiao, Mel Buyi, Han Hong, and Jeff Chang. The event was on par with China Central Television's Spring Festival Gala. The 39-year-old founder and CEO Yu Hao took the stage and made some bold claims.
We
have 20,000 people here today. I hope in 3 years we'll have 200,000 people here, and we can achieve our small target of 1 trillion. Let's work hard together. I also want to make a promise with Mr. Xiao. A few years from now, when I become the world's richest person, I'll still stand on the F2 racetrack and say, I'm not interested in money. Dreamy announced back in August 2025 that it would make cars, with its first ultra-luxury electric supercar aimed at the Bugatti Veyron, planning for mass production in 2027, though at the time it was still in the concept phase. But at the annual meeting, the company immediately put 1 trillion in 2027 to challenge Bugatti on the PowerPoint, which quickly ignited online ridicule. After the video spread, some people posted on Douyin calling him a liar. Yu Hao personally asked them to delete the video. Yet the request was exposed with screenshots, and netizens started criticizing. Who gave him the courage to ask for deletions? The familiar smell of money grabbing and running away is here again. At the same time, his statements on social media and in public were more outrageous. Dreamy's ecosystem aims to become the first company in human history to reach a $1 trillion ecosystem. Elon Musk and Jensen Huang's generation will max out at 8 to 10 trillion. I, being young, can reach a whole new level, 100 trillion. He even predicted, in 20 years, Tesla will be driven out of the electric vehicle market. His internal staff group exploded with criticism. Some asked, you'll surpass NVIDIA in 1 year? You'll surpass 30 years of achievements by Chinese car companies in 1 year? Do you understand US product liability law? Data shows that Dreamy's 2024 revenue is about 15 billion yuan, with rumors of it doubling to 30 or 40 billion in 2025. Its main business is still robot vacuums and home cleaning appliances. This sudden foray into car manufacturing, along with plans to enter the smartphone, AI glasses, low-altitude drones, asteroid mining, and other industries, led netizens to label it as a PowerPoint player and Jia Yueting 2.0. Actually, the outcome of Xiaomi's SU7 Ultra has already made this path clear. The market is no longer buying into such stories. Consumers are becoming more and more discerning. Luxury cars aren't built by stacking parameters, nor can they survive by imitation. You can copy Porsche's operations, but you'll never replicate Porsche's essence. Consumers won't forget your original identity just because you changed your appearance. Brand elevation requires the accumulation of time and culture, not a quick, profit-driven copy. The dissolution of the Xiaomi car's Ultra service team is not the end of failure, but the beginning of acknowledging failure. Lei Jun once vowed to redefine luxury cars, but in the end, it was the market that redefined him.